Hello? Okay, there it is. What? Oh, yes! Suddenly did not know which one was my mic. And so, yeah. Great. Thank you. You can hear me now, right? Right? Okay. Thank you. Great, great. Okay, we're here. It's fine. Let's load this. Also, hi, Bea and Chitari. You are on
おや、
point, as
お嬢
always.
様、こんなところに。奥様が探しておいででしたよ。
探されたくねえからこんなところにいるんだぜ。どうせ、みなりは大丈夫かとか、言葉遣いをちゃんとするようにとか、お小言が言いたいだけに違いないぜ。
違いありません。
私はさ、なぜか親族会議の日になると、この魔女様が気になるんだよ。
ほう、それはまたどうしてでございましょう。
親族会議ってのは、じい様に連なるすべての一族老頭が集まる日だ。
Jessica's having premonitions now.
今年は6年ぶりにバトラも来るそうじゃねえか。そんな感じでさ、何十年かぶりに、今までずっと姿を現さなかった親族が、
Ooh,
ひょっ
okay.
こりと現れるんじゃないかって。
ほほう。そんな親族がおりますでしょうか。
ベアトリーチェ様だよ。素性は誰も知らない。あるいは、大昔のじい様の愛人なのか。その子孫がひょっこりと現れて、授けた黄金を返せなんて言い出すかもしれないぜ。
If only it had been only that. If only.
クラウス様たちは親方様の遺産問題で今年も議論されるでしょうから。こうも魔女の黄金の話で盛り上がっては、黄金を与えた魔女本人がそろそろおいでになってもおかしくありませんね。
熊沢さんはさ、辞めたり勤めたりと忙しいけど、現実さん並みに昔からここに出入りしてるわけでしょ。ベアトリーチェのこと、もっと知ってるんじゃないの？
さて、どうでしょうね。思い出そうにもこの老いぼれ。今朝の朝食すらも思い出せませんので。
Yeah, she's playing the old lady with no memory card.
熊沢さんはいっつもそういう言い方で逃げるけど、
Yeah, there she is.
何か知ってそうなんだよな。
Jessica agrees.
知ってて物陰で笑ってるみたいな陰湿な雰囲気が時々するぜ。
これは手厳しい。隠し事など何もしておりません。
Really no.
私から申し上げられることは、ベアトリーチェ様は黄金の魔女であられて、この島の夜を支配されているもう一人の主人であられるということだけでございます。
じい様の受け売りかよ。給料もらってるとはいえ、じい様の妄言に付き合うのも大変だな。
ただ、これだけは申し上げられます。
Kumasawa says everyone is suspicious.
何？
六軒島は太古の昔、小豆島と呼ばれて恐れられてきました。小豆は悪食がなまったものと言われ、本当は悪食島と呼ばれていたのだと、漁民たちの間では伝えられておりました。
That's so convoluted. Evil appetite? What?
前にも聞いたよ。この辺は暗礁が多くて海難事故が多かったから、領民たちが恐れてむやみに近づかなかったって話だろ。
悪食島には悪霊が住み着いていて、太古の昔から人々の魂を喰らい続けてきました。
Okay.
この島に関わり、命を奪われた人間はあまりにも多いのです。
それを旅の修験者だかなんだかが例の社を作って鎮魂したんで収まったってんじゃなかったっけ？うさんくせえ話だぜ。
その鎮魂の社はこの夏、暗き闇を引き裂く紫色の不気味な雷で打ち砕かれたとか。
Hmm. Who says that?
熊
Exactly.
沢さんその話好きだな。
If it was destroyed this summer and the Ushiromiya family is the only one living there, who is they and why are they saying it?
確かに鎮魂の社が落雷でなくなっちまうなんて不気味だが、まあもともとオンボロだったしな。ちょっと高い波にでもさらわれたんじゃねえのかな。
眠りから目覚めた悪食島の悪霊がベアトリーチェ様を呼び寄せたのです。もしベアトリーチェ様が親族会議に訪れられるようなことがあったなら。
あったなら？
Kumasawa kept silent for a moment there. Jessica, who wanted her to keep going, found that silence very eerie. Once Kumasawa was satisfied that she had spooked Jessica just the right amount. Oh god. She grinned broadly.
はてさて、どんなことになるやら。
Sure, Kumasawa.
へえ、そいつは素敵じゃないかよ。
でしょ？たまには優雅な時間を得て、あなたの心を豊かにするのも、
Kitty's
あなたの
voice.
仕事に役に立つんじゃないかしら。
だな。心と財布は豊かじゃなきゃいけねえ。わかったよ。その日は開けておくことにする。予約を頼むぜ。
わかったわ。絶対よ。
ああ、よろしく頼む。愛してるぜ、キリエ。
Oh, that's so nice. After kissing the receiver. What? Really? Oh, that's so cute. What? Hey, Desalane, how's it going? I didn't expect that from Rudolph. I didn't expect to say something is cute about Rudolph. Okay. Rudolph hung up. In front of his seat, there were many executives with their sleeves rolled up, eagerly awaiting the end of that phone call.
すまん、待たせたぜ。アメリカから連絡は来たか？
はい。外線にデイル渡辺弁護士からです。おつなぎします。
結局のところ、感触はどうなんだ？
それが一つ芳しくないようでして。先方は裁判をも辞さないつもりのようです。
やっぱりごまかしきれねえかな。繋いでくれ。
わかりました。すぐに。
The executive ordered the secretarial office to connect him to the external line. Immediately, the telephone in front of Rudolph started ringing.
もしもし。ハローハロー。お待たせしました。後宮です。どうもどうも。いかがですかそちらは。
Hello, President 後宮。挨拶は抜きで本題に入りましょう。
Props for Rudolph kissing the receiver while watched by a whole bunch of suits. Yeah, after I read that he was in a room with other people from work, I was kind of doubting in my mind. Did he actually, do that? Or is it a translation thing that I don't get? Maybe it just meant that he was speaking very closely to the receiver or something? Just my mind is kind of like, is it really that? Or is this something else that is another meaning in English? But I'll take it as the literal sense, which is very cute. I don't particularly like Rudolph that much, but I gotta say, his relationship with Kiria is really nice from what we've seen thus far. Probably my fave vibe as a couple so far, to be honest. It might really be that he's pretty sweet with Kiria. Yeah, that's very nice.
いいニュースと悪いニュースがありますが、どちらを先にしますか？
悪いニュースが先がいいな。デザートがないと頑張れないたちなんだ。
わかりました。 悪いニュースは先方が当方を告発する準備に入ったということです。つい先日類似した裁判で原告が圧勝する判決が出されました。被告側も当方が主張するのとほぼ同じ内容で論戦していたのですが、全てにおいて却下されました。残念ながらこのまま法廷に臨めば当方の主張はことごとく却下される可能性が極めて高いでしょう。
例の裁判全滅だったか。うちより有利な条件だったと思ってたんだが、そりゃ辛いな。で、いいニュースは？
先方の幹部と接触できました。先方に当方の立ち位置を説明し、先方のブランドイメージを侵害する意図がないことを説明し、理解を得ることができました。先方は近日中に条件提示を行い、それらの履行が行われるなら告発を見送ると約束しました。取締役会のナンバー2による発言です。
感触は？
正直非常に厳しいものになると予想されます。当方の想定では避けられないものとして、社名変更、交渉の余地のあるものとして和解金額、大手新聞への謝罪広告掲載、それらの履行期間と見ています。
うちに潰れろと一言言やいいのに、周りくどい奴らだぜ。
先方は近年2代目社長に交代したばかりで、まだ足固めが終わっていません。当方が徹底抗戦した場合、現社長に失点を与えたい勢力が何らかの利的工作をしかねないと懸念しています。そのため先方トップも本件を速やかに解決したいという思惑があるようです。そのため迅速な和解のために多少の条件緩和を引き出せる余地も残っているかもしれません。
いずれにせよ、とんでもねえ金が必要になるか。
その覚悟は必要です。そしてそれでも懲罰的賠償金よりははるかに安いかと。
ありがとう先生。また進展があったら連絡してください。先生は高級鳥だからヨタ話もできねえ。サンキューサンキュー。グッバイ。
Rudolph hung up the phone. It seemed that the executives sitting in the reception seats could guess what had been said.
聞こえたか野郎ども。
What?
まあそうじるとだ。
Did you hear that right?
金さえ積みや堪忍してやるぜってわけだ。あとは金の高だけを争点にすりゃいい。
しかし社長、渡辺氏の示した和解金の想定額はあまりにも膨大です。それだけの余裕はありません。
こんなことになるって分かってたら高くかなんて始めんじゃなかったぜ。
3年しのげれば資金的危機は脱出できる計算でした。まさかここで刺されるなんて本当についてない。
ホップステップジャンプのステップでこけちまったんだもんな。泣けるぜ。
メインバンクから金を引っ張るしかありません。
銀行はまずいな。連中は勝ち馬にしか金を出さん。景気は上向いてるが銀行に弱みは見せられねえ。
社長、母外に資金はありますか？我々の把握していない資金です。
よせやい。俺がそういう男に見えるかよ。俺の財布の中身は全てお前らにさらしてるぜ。そこにある帳簿が我が社の全てだ。
なら金策が必要です。数百万ドル単位を引っ張れるスポンサーが大至急必要です。
社長の交友関係で何とかなりませんでしょうか？
社長。ああ、落ち着けてめえら。
てめえら。The way he calls them.
金策は俺が何とかする。お前らはガタガタせずに業務を維持しろ。金さえ積めば向こうは許すと言ってるんだ。すでに俺たちはアジアに太いパイプを持ってる。いろいろ響くだろうが取引は維持できる。要は金さえ積めりゃ全て解決できる問題なんだ。
Rudolph talks like a damn yakuza. Probably.
見てろ。俺が全て解決する。お前らを路頭に迷わせなんかしねえぞ。大船に乗った気でいろい。無事に解決したらお前ら全員をシャンパンタワーでねぎらってやるぜ。約束する。だから黙って俺についてこい。いいな。
Ooh. The airplane suddenly shook, probably because of turbulence. The shaking roused Rudolph from his sleep. He had woken up early that morning and had ended up drifting off to sleep while resting in his seat.
大丈夫？まだだいぶ眠いんじゃないの？このところだいぶ仕事が忙しかったようだし。
仕事が忙しいなんて大いに結構じゃねえか。
Battler has inherited Rudolph's charm. I guess. I don't feel it as strongly in Battler. He probably still has to, like, hone it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's the word.
俺が暇になっちまったら、俺たち明日から路頭に迷うぜ。
そうね。バトラ君も帰ってきたんだから、二人で物乞いすればいいって問題じゃないわよ。
そうだな。6年ぶりに家族が揃ったんだからな。家族水入らずで過ごせるよう、課長が頑張らねえとな。
When he looked outside the window, he saw that the airplane was already starting to drop in altitude considerably. The fishing boats, which had only looked like black grains until a short while ago, had become clearly visible.
親父に土下座して、げんこつ一発で1000万借りられるなら、1ダースくらいもらっときてえところなんだからな。さもなきゃ、とっととお隠れになってくれりゃいいんだが。散々すねをかじって、今度は遺産目当てか。俺は地獄行きだな。そりゃこんな俺に親父も会いたくはないだろうよ。
I mean, at least he's self-aware. I can appreciate that. I can respect it.
まさか今年も親族会議にお出にならないつもりですかな。
Nanjo looked at Kinzo's face, sighing. Kinzo's eyes remained rooted to those strange magic books.
ハゲタカどもの議論に加わるつもりはない。
He's gonna yell for Beatrice in just a sec. 3, 2, 1.
好きに我が骨のしゃぶり方でも議論するがよかろう。実にくだらぬ。
やれやれ、困ったものですな。
Nanjo shook his head slightly. To him, children and grandchildren were to be adored, and he believed that their growth was the only enjoyment for all men. He found Kinzo's words to be a very sad thing.
この部屋を出るべき時が来れば私は姿を現す。
Okay, yeah, burnt in the furnace or something. That's how you showed yourself.
あれが姿を未だ現さぬようにな。
Hey, I'm not sure I understand the last part. Just as that one does not show itself. Huh? Kinzo raised his face, and in the direction of his gaze was the portrait of the witch, respectfully displayed on the wall. I can see Nanjo as a nice grandpa. He really looks like Santa. You know what? I agree with that. He has really, really nice grandpa vibes. Inside Kinzo's head, there was no conception of the day being the day of the family conference, the day when all his dear family would gather together. There was only the face of the witch in the oil painting, who never smiled outside her portrait. Everybody knew that when Kinzo talked about Beatrice, unnecessarily cutting in would instigate his wrath.
私は今日、ある儀式を執り行う。
それは何ですかな？
儀式というよりは博打に近い。なぜなら、リスクを負わぬ魔法に奇跡は宿らぬからだ。
Nanjo had already heard this countless times. You could call it Kinzo's favorite phrase. It seemed that Kinzo believed in magic and miracles arising through betting his own fate, with a certain kind of risky probability and beating the odds.
かつて黄金のギャンブラーと言われた金蔵さんが、
Everything is golden in this novel.
いつお迎えが来てもおかしくないそのご老体で、一体どんな博打に挑みますやら。 これは見物ですな。
Was it though?
なるほど。
Kinzo playing that fate gacha. That's the perfect way to describe it, yeah, pretty much.
研究を尽くした秘術の儀式も魔法にたけぬお前にかかれば博打呼ばわりか。まあいい。奇跡を信じる私が勝てば、お前の目には水郷にしか見えなかったであろう我が研究のすべてがこの日に結実したことをはっきりと理解できるだろう。
Sorry, I'm trying to focus on what he's saying, but because they're really funny. Yeah, yeah, for sure. He's crossing his fingers and awaiting the moment. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how this combines in my mind with the fact that Beatrice said the only reason why she ever even appeared the first time around was on a whim. Because he wasn't doing stuff right anyway, but she kind of appreciated the dedication, I guess, the passion, the try after try after try, I guess, and not giving up. So I don't know how that connects to this. He seems pretty confident, but
お前が勝てば見たままの通りいつ迎えが来てもおかしくない年寄りの水郷に終わるだけだ。
一体どんなギャンブルを始めるやら。あなたの友人としてその賭けに、いや儀式でしたか。その儀式にあなたが勝てるよう心からお祈りするだけです。
感謝する。
そういえば金蔵さん、今年の親族会議には懐かしい客がおられるそうですな。
何？
Kinzo reacted in an unusual way to Nanjo's words and turned around.
ほら、ルドルフさんのところのバトラ君です。6年ぶりにおいでになるそうじゃありませんか。
I don't know if Kinzo is interested in Battler at all.
きっと立派になっていますよ。
なんだ、バトラか。6年ぶり程度の客人など懐かしいなどと呼びはせぬ。
Oh god. Upon hearing Battler's name, he showed an ill-humored expression as though he had been let down, and turned his back to Nanjo again.
金蔵さんにとっての6年など、この部屋で研究に没頭すればあっという間のことでしょうからな。
本当に懐かしい客はあるいは訪れるかもしれん。
Yeah, when he thinks of that, he definitely does not think of Battler or anyone else in the family.
すべてはルーレットの出目次第だ。
Oh man.
すでにルーレットは回り始めている。ルージュか、ノワールか。今宵、ルーレットがどんな奇跡を見せてくれるのか楽しませてもらおうではないか。配当は大きいぞ。そして負ける気はせぬ。ベアトリーチェよ、我が賭けを受けるがいい。
Just then, the telephone on the table rang. That piercing noise seemed to displease Kinzo, and he picked up the receiver in order to preserve the silence as much as he could.
何事か。私は忙しい。
現時でございます。親族の皆様方が到着なされました。
だからどうしたというのだ。適当に茶でも出せばよい。
かしこまりました。そのようにいたします。
Poor Genji just doing his job and, you know, kind of informing him, hey, they're here now, and so on. And it's like, why are you bothering me with this? Kinzo hung up the phone rudely. Watching him, Nanjo sighed yet again and shifted his attention outside the window. As he was now, Kinzo would probably show no interest in any kind of guest. Was there any guest who could make Kinzo agree to come out when he should? He had one person in mind, but that guest was one who could not possibly appear. After a glance at the witch of the portrait and her candid expression, which he could not place as happy or sad, Nanjo gazed up at the leaden sky. Eh? Okay. Now then, are the pieces all lined up? Let us start a new game with the pieces all lined up once more. Oh, I'm scared. Ah, okay. Oh, Bea, that's nice. It's fine, don't worry. You don't have to, you know, constantly take care of me. I'll try my best, I guess. The sentiment is very nice. I appreciated them. Thank you, thank you.
何か問題は？
ねえよ。
The witch looked at him in challenge while elegantly smoking her pipe. And Battler, he just slovenly shrugged his shoulders as though she wasn't worth his time. Okay. Okay, the meta world and Rokenjima is a game board. Oh god. Battler's gonna flip it! Flip! 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 Okay, so this battler is player battler or meta battler. The battler on the game board is peace battler. Gotcha. He wouldn't look her in the eyes, but that didn't mean he wasn't going to play. It signified his plain determination to never be taken in by the artifices of this being he faced. This happens after like 3 hours or so. It's easy to forget that there was supposed to be a game between Battler and Beatrice. Okay. Well, I have you guys to keep me on track, so I appreciate that. It was an expression of his powerful determination to fight.
まさか無策ではあるまいな。
お前の出方がわからねえ以上、策も何もねえぜ。好きに先手を取ればいいじゃねえか。
もちろんそうさせていただくぞ。お前の守りをいかに崩すか、何手で詰めるか。わらわの腕の見せ所よ。
お前がどんな手で来ようが、俺はお前を信じない。
I hope it does make any sense. Have fun. Oh god. Oh god. I feel so out of my depth.
その一点を俺が貫き通す限り、俺に負けはない。ってことはだ。このゲームはお前に勝てないようにできてるぜ。
そうかもしれぬ。しかしな、ゲームを何度繰り返すかはわらわが決めるぞ。そしてわらわが勝ち、そなたが負けを認めるまで何度でも繰り返されるぞ。つまりこれは災難よ。そなたがわらわに屈服するまで続く永遠の災難。そなたがわらわを、魔女の存在を認めるまで永遠に続く。
なら、俺もお前が根負けするまで何度でも無限に付き合ってやるぜ。意地の張り合いってやつでは負けた例がねえんだ。
どこぞの魔女にでも入れ知恵されたか？まあよい。
Oh, Desolate. Oh, that's so kind. Thank you. I'm hanging in there. I'll just, you know, just take it as it comes and just, yeah, let's see.
ごたくは聞き飽きたぜ。さあ、おっ始めやがれ。
さあ、始めようではないか。そなたの指し手はすでに知り尽くしておる。手の内を知られた守りなどたかが知れておる。同じ手でしのぎきれると思うでないぞ。
ベアトリーチェ、 一つだけ最初に言っておくことがある。
なんだ。
お前が何をのたまおうと自由だ。だが俺が信じるかどうか常に俺が自分で決める。貴様の魔法がどれほどのものだったとしても俺の魂は屈しない。これは俺への拷問だと？違うね。
ならばなんだというのか。
これはお前への拷問なのさ。お前がいつ俺に屈し諦めるか。それまで繰り返される拷問なのさ。
面白いかな、その例えや。よし、互いを苛み合う拷問とは実に面白い。さーて始めようではないか。後ろ宮バトラ
Hmm. Chess has never been so passionate. Oh boy. Okay. Every year the relatives who visit Rokkenjima let out a sigh of admiration at the rose garden which first greets them. They stood there talking with each other about the rose's beauty and the state of their blooming this year. There was a single unhealthy rose among them, and Maria became overwhelmed with dejection at its state. But George used his quick wits, and saying she should look after it if she felt that sorry for it, he marked it with the candy wrapper and immediately restored Maria's good mood. And once Battler, with whom she had been getting along well all morning, raised the subject of Halloween that Maria loved so much, she began playing around energetically again. To Maria, those marshmallow jack-o'-lantern candies that her mother had bought for her were probably a treasure greater than any other. Oh. It seemed that several of them had been bought for her, and she demanded trick or treat from every person she met, giving them candy instead of the other way around. Oh, that's so cute.
マリアはどうしてこんなにハロウィンが好きなんだろうな。
Because witches.
日本人には一つ馴染みにくいイベントだと思ってたんだが。
Because witches.
仮装行列で練り歩く子供のお祭りだからじゃねえのか。普段と違う格好をしてはしゃぎ合うってのは楽しいぜ。
多分僕はもう少しディープな理由によるものだと思うな。何しろ魔女のマリアちゃんだからね。
そういや、飛行場でもマリアは仮装するなら魔女になりたいって言っていたっけ。マリアって魔女が好きなんだ。
ええ、大好きよ。困ったくらいに。
まあまあ、あのくらいの年頃はファンタジックな存在に憧れるもんですから。
せめてテレビアニメのヒロインに憧れるくらいなら可愛いんだけど。
Judging by Rosa's reactions, it seemed that as a mother, she did not find her daughter's love for witches pleasant. Seemingly, all the cousins other than Battler were able to understand this, and they shrugged their shoulders, smiling awkwardly.
魔女好きだとハロウィンも好きになるって論法なのか？わかんなきゃ本人に聞けばいいか。おい、マリア、ハロウィンと魔女って何か関係あるのか？
As Battler asked that, George and Jessica let out a small noise. It seemed they were too late. It almost looked as though Maria had been waiting for that question. After looking happy for an instant, her expression turned a little mean, as if to say, "You don't know anything, do you?" It was the expression of an enthusiast who has been enraged by the ignorant statement of an outsider with a wrong impression. Oh, fuck.
ケルト人は1年間を通じてその勢いを変える太陽は1年を通して生まれ育ち老いて死んでそして再び蘇ると考えていたの。
納得だな。春のか弱いポカポカした太陽が次第に痩せ衰えていく様をなるほど太陽の一生と考えるのもうなずけるぜ。
だから彼らは10月の最後に太陽は死に、死の国で体を休めて、冬至の日に再び蘇ると考えたの。それで太陽が1年の生涯を終えて死ぬその日を大晦日、サビンと呼んでお祝いしたの。
再び日照時間が長くなりだす冬至の日を太陽の復活の日とする考え方はとても面白いよね。古代の人々がいかに太陽を神聖視していたかがわかるエピソードだよ。
Have I noticed a little Maria embroidered on Rosa's clothes? Very cute. Oh, no. I'll look again.
で、それが魔女とどう関係があるんだ？
It seemed that my casual urging forward had slightly infuriated Maria. She glared at me with eyes that told me to let her explain without interrupting. Whoopsie. Maria looked like she was having fun telling me, so I decided not to interrupt.
10月と11月の狭間は生と死が最も近くなる。ケルト人たちはこの時期に聖者の世界と死者やこの世ならざる者の世界が最も近づき、異界の住人たちがたくさん訪れると信じてたの。日本でいうお盆みたいなものだよ。
At the time, the people believed that the souls returning to the physical world would go into people's houses or possess people to do bad things. So in order to avoid harm from them, the people invented protective rituals. One of those was to imitate creepy monsters and scare the souls instead, which was apparently a way to avoid being possessed. Oh, I would hope not. Oh, that makes me sad though.
その部分がお祭りになっていって仮装行列になってったんだな。マリアは本当に物知りだぜ。
ほんまやな。わしもハロウィンに備えな言われがあるなんて知らんかったわ。
しかしそれのどこにお菓子をくれなきゃいたずらしちゃうぞってのが出てくるんだ。
I didn't know that connection with the sun though. That's interesting. Her knowledge was so extensive that the adults had started listening in too at some point. Maria, who was normally always treated like the youngest, puffed out her chest in pride. Of course she did. Rosa tried to say this was just a kid's story and that she wanted to quickly break up the circle and set the luggage down in the guest house, but nobody else agreed and she let out a heavy sigh.
おう、トリックオアトリートは単なるお遊び。本来のケルト人たちの儀式とは何の関係もない。それは後にキリスト教の習慣が混合してできたものなの。でもマリアは本来のハロウィンの姿とはそうあるべきだと思うの。
According to Maria, the souls of the dead weren't the only ones who visited from the world of the non-human. There were also spirits that had an intimate connection to how people lived. It was because humans received the favors of those spirits that they were able to earn a wonderful blessing and a year's worth of good crops.
つまりハロウィンってのは収穫祭の意味も少しはあったわけか。
なるほどな。言われてみりゃ10月ってのは季節的にも色々節目って気がするぜ。日本の4月のちょうど反対側だもんな。なるほど。キリはいいかもしれねえな。
おい、そしてね、魔女たちはね、その時期に魔女集会、サバトを開いたの。魔女たちは豊かな恵みをもたらしてくれた精霊たちに感謝し、ねぎらったの。
ハロウィンの仮装は向こうから来る客人たちの模倣。つまり彼らにお菓子を施すのは一年の収穫への感謝の気持ちがあってもいいわけだね。
Oh, okay.
ジョージお兄ちゃんの言う通り。
つまりハロウィンはこの世とあの世の交流のある時期ってわけなんだな。それでつまり魔女たちにとってはそういう世界の客人たちと交流できる大切を言いたいわけか。
おう、バトラの言う通り。だからね、魔女たちや悪魔たちの力が最も活発で盛んになるのが10月なの。
Maria can be so intelligent and eloquent when it comes to these things. It's kind of sad that she gets so little recognition for that by the adults and her mother. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. How do I put it? it's kind of like her escape in a way. So she focuses so much about this and learns so much about this because it's kind of like a way to feel in control, and you know, the most savvy about something gives her that kind of feeling when everything else in her life feels possibly out of her control, and she is required, or like her mom would want her to have a certain type of behavior, a certain type of speech, a certain type of interests. Yet she goes into this direction that makes her so happy, and at the same time it's against it. So I can understand why Rosa would try to kind of diminish the importance of this, and maybe she thinks that if she acknowledges it, then she approves of it in a way that kind of is against the direction she would want Maria to develop towards. So she probably, even if she does notice that, she doesn't say it so as not to encourage her. Which I can understand Rosa's perspective on this too. But yeah, it's fascinating that a child this young can be so knowledgeable and so eloquent, as you said, and so into these things. I'm looking at it with love. Oh, am I? I feel like I understand both parties here. So it's a very difficult situation, just as like just like last time. It's kind of like I'm stuck in the middle, and it's hard to say I root solely for one side of this conundrum, because yeah, they both have their own pluses and minuses, and I get them all. Yeah, okay, there it is. The bad Riche.
一緒に魔法のお歌を歌って、魔法の呪文を習って、魔法陣の書き方を習うの。そしてね、ルーンの秘密を習って、早く早くマリアを立派な魔女にしてもらうの。
I can't imagine that Rosa does not notice how much knowledge she just sheer knowledge that she has amassed, and like she's spouting out. All of this just coming out of this tiny child. I can't imagine that she doesn't notice it. She probably does, and she's probably scared of it in a sense. So in a way, maybe not acknowledging it is a way of protecting herself from it.
それは素敵ね。子供は夢があるのが一番よ。
I don't know what I'm supposed to see on Rosa's clothes. Ah, there's a tiny wing on her thingy. Is that what you mean? Like she has the big wing, but there's like an extra detail on whatever the hell that is. It's part of her collar, I guess. Oh, okay, that's cute. I had noticed it before, but I didn't give it any meaning. I just thought it was like part of the, you know, desert decoration thing. Little bird Maria. Aw. That's cute. That's very cute.
ところでローザ、マリアちゃんは今年でいくつになったんだったかしら？
マリア、もうそのお話は終わりにしなさい。
There it is.
気にしないでローザさん。女の子なら誰だって一度は思い描く夢じゃない。
ありがとうございます。でももうマリアはそういう年を卒業していますので。こら、やめなさいと言ってるでしょ。
Thanks, Eva. I mean, the implication that being 9 is old and she should have overcome things is a little bit... I don't know, she's 9. What do you want from her as well? Like, that's a little bit too much. Whatever. Rosa scolded Maria, trying to shut her up before her cheery discussion about black magic earned her the snickers of the relatives.
へえ、そいつはなんだかスケールのでかい話だな。ところで、ベアトリーチェって誰だっけ？なんだっけ？聞いた名前だな。
Battler had been gone for 6 years and had completely forgotten about the legend of the Rokkenjima witch. Oh no. Maria feels insulted. However, when he said that, he didn't know Beatrice's name. Maria's mood, which had been so bright until just now, became sour in an instant. Oh no. When he saw that, Battler immediately remembered that it was the name of the Witch of this island, but the damage had been done. Until Maria's mood improved, many mysterious and fabulous episodes regarding the Golden Witch were drilled into his brain.
もうよしなさい、マリア。ありがとうね、バトラ君。お話に付き合ってくれて。カノン君、お仕事があるんでしょ？もう行ってちょうだい。ゴーダさん、みんなとりあえず荷物を置きたがってると思うの。悪いんだけど、みんなをゲストハウスへ案内してくれるかしら。
かしこまりました。それでは皆様、ゲストハウスへご案内いたします。
それでは、失礼いたします。
Like, I don't want him dead, but I still don't like Goda. Sorry, I can't. Every time he says something or I see his sprite, all that I can think of is him putting up appearances of being so great and so fantastic when in reality he just gets everyone else to do the dirty work for him. He probably does make the food himself. That part, I will give it to him. But everything else is just like he is stepping on everyone else just to put himself in the limelight somehow. And it kind of irks me. It really irks me every time I see his face and I hear his voice. I can just like feel that. I'm sorry. Their minds on setting down their luggage and taking a quick rest. They didn't notice that Rosa and Maria had stayed in the same spot. If you ever watch Succession, you'll get to experience another worse Goda. Oh god, no. Please. Oh lord, no. No. After watching them leave towards the guest house, Rosa's features changed suddenly. Oh no. Oh no. She let go with the hand that she had been gripping Maria's arm the whole time. There was a bright red mark there, making it clear how much excessive force she had been gripping Maria's slender arm with. That hand then smacked Maria over the head and pulled her left ear up into the air, pinching it sharply.
魔女の話はするなといつも言ってるでしょうが、それはママとの約束だといつも言っているでしょ。ママ痛い、ママ痛い、痛い、ハロウィンうるさいのよあんたは。魔女のお祭り？ケルト人が何よ、黒魔術が何よ、バカじゃないの。あんた9歳よ9歳。電車であんなに騒ぐから、わざわざ電車降りてまでその蛍光塗料みたいな気持ち悪いお化けマシュマロを買ってやったのよ。
This makes me very sad. Come on, Rosa, really? Of course they have some flamboyant food coloring on them. That's the whole point. That's not necessarily disgusting. Oh.
遅刻してまであんたに買ってやったのよ。
But you bought them to apologize. Didn't you mean that? Come on, Rosa. Hi, Zecto. Yes, you're right, and just in time for the pain. Oh my god.
どこまで私の顔を潰せば気が済むのよ。
Yeah, Rosa definitely has a really big issue with keeping up images, what is perceived as being proper, and all of that stuff. And I get it up to a certain point because she is like not just like any person, she's part of this like family that's supposed to uphold certain, I don't know, level of distinction or whatever. And maybe she feels even more pressured into that because she's like a single mother and that's being looked down upon, especially back in those times, and so on and so forth. So up to a certain point I can understand why you would want to keep up a certain appearance, but this is too much, and I like beyond that point and she's gone really far beyond it. It's hard for me to justify it, and it makes me very sad because I wanted to believe in her apologizing last time, and her saying these things now basically completely invalidates that, and it makes me very sad. Yeah. As Rosa cursed, she twisted Maria's ear up, making it seem like it was going to snap off. An expression of anguish spread across Maria's face, and she stood on her tiptoes as though her life depended on it, trying to soften the pain on the ear that was being pulled. Rosa suddenly stole the candy that Maria had been holding in her hand. Then she threw it on the ground and stepped on it over and over. That's the whole point. Why did you even get it for her if you didn't mean it, if you're gonna destroy it now? Oof. To Maria, it was supposed to be proof of her memory of that span of time, however brief, when she had enjoyed going shopping with her mother. Oh. Okay. My heart is breaking into a million pieces. But it was being trampled by that very same mother. It was as though a brand was being pushed against Maria's eyes, leaving a mark that couldn't be erased.
こんな気持ち悪いお菓子が何よ。気持ち悪い。気持ち悪い。あんたがそんなんだから。あんたがそんなんだから。気持ち悪い。気持ち悪い。気持ち悪い。
She struck Maria's head over and over again with her palm as she spoke. She didn't hit Maria's face because the red swelling would stand out. Maria closed her eyes tightly, patiently bearing her mother's violence. No, that wasn't quite it. She kept bearing it, muttering that over and over.
その魔女ってのをやめろっつってんのよ。この
Rosa's shoulders shook as she breathed, tired from hitting. Maria grasped her hands together, withstanding it, hoping her mother would come back quickly. I mean, I think that might be a common thing for physical abusers, I guess. Although, I don't know. It's weird, but in my mind it's very hard to put Rosa in the same category as a wife-beating husband or something. I don't know, I feel like there's an even further level for that those people go towards. But yeah, I guess that's a common thing. Don't do it on the face because then it's visible. And it's kind of insidious, but it makes it even more so inexcusable in a way. Because if you have the mental capacity to judge, oh, I shouldn't hit the face, then how can you even invoke that, oh, it's just, I don't know, a slip of the mind, I got crazy for a moment, I wasn't thinking. You were thinking. You were thinking quite very precisely. You know? I don't know about bipolar. I don't know enough about the disorder to even say if it applies or not. I'm not a medical professional. If it is that, or if it is something else, whatever label that has a list of things underneath that maybe Rosa checks for, whatever it is, it doesn't excuse this. Oh no, it's this scene. Hey, Coach Vixie. Yeah, we're here again. Oh god, my heart. It's actually extremely widespread among abusers from what I know. Yeah, I heard the same thing. Good, now I don't have to feel as bad for oh, Zekta. Well, I can't remember what has been mentioned so far. Can I mention something relevant to the convo but minor? Yeah, okay, you can go ahead and chat with the others. I will not pretend that I don't understand, because I really don't understand, but I won't try to. As far as I'm concerned, you can. I have no problem even if you write it in plain English, but I know that Bea is very... our Bea in chat is very protective of me being spoiled, so... Rosa has not enough highs to be bipolar. Also, as you said, the intention is what makes it even scarier. Just knowing where to hit so you can get on with it unnoticed. That's straight out psychopathic stuff. Also, hi. Hi! Hi. Yeah. Oh, man. I'm having a really hard time because, like as I said, I do understand what upsets Rosa. I totally understand why she is upset, but that doesn't mean I am behind the way she reacts to what makes her upset. Right? So... it's... And also, I do empathize with her struggle as a single mother and everything that comes from that, and the fact that this is, like, her life 24/7. Like, she doesn't get to take a break from it, right? I read the novel for 2 hours and a half, and then I go on with my days, and then I read it for another 2 hours and a half, and then that's my week, you know? But she lives this every single day, so I feel not okay with, you know, taking a moral grandstand and being like, ah, if I were her, I wouldn't be upset by all of this at all. This seems minor to me because I don't know what it is to live this life. But at the same time, I can't justify her. I can only accept it up to a certain point, and she's way past that, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because she was supposed to do the thing with the candy as an apology, right? But now there she goes and just completely destroys even that. So why did you even put the effort into it? Why did you go through the whole trouble of finding it and missing the train and then being late, which goes against her keeping up with appearances? She made a decision to not... you know, to maybe make a bad impression overall on the others for being late, but doing this thing for Maria. And so she did that, but now she's completely invalidating it. Why? I think what makes this so divisive a topic in the Umineko community is that Rosa has genuinely loving moments with Maria. She is not just some villain. That's the whole point. Like, people are not monsters. They're not black and white, or completely pure or completely evil. She is human. And no matter how much we... which I guess is also the common theme, like, why do people even stay with abusers? Because they're human. Because they genuinely have loving moments. Because you can see the humanity in them, especially as their partner or as a very close... person in their life. You can see their humanity and you can see their beauty, and you want to believe in that, and you want to believe that this other part of them is not the dominant one. But when it comes out, and it comes out like this, like, ah. I think she can truly love Maria, but still can be held responsible for her action. I think that too. Yeah. I think her moment, at least the one that we saw last stream at the train station, because, you know, I can only judge by what I have seen. I really believed that. I really wanted to believe it. And now it's kind of like completely destroying it, and I'm very, very sad. But it felt genuine. Psychopathic goes too far, in my opinion. In that case, she wouldn't show emotion. Yeah, I think it's... That's the whole point. That's where it makes... that's what makes things so difficult. That, like, people are not necessarily psychopathic, monsters, villains, full-on abusive degenerates, you know? They're a mix of things. And she is a mix of things, and she's human, so... Rosa is a loving mother when she stops caring about appearances or is not getting triggered at Maria. Yeah, but how often is that? And how constant and reliable is it? That's the thing, she's never allowed to not care about appearances, or at least thinks that way. Yeah, she definitely thinks that. Thank you so much. Oh, Small Honey Bat. Oh, that's such a cute name. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay, I think she's got a lot of feelings caught up around Maria and she doesn't know how to resolve them, so she seems to act very unpredictable. Yeah, that's exactly it. Deeply conflicted, I guess, but even if she's a loving mother and means well, means don't justify the end if you use violence. You're not talking about a little clap here and there. Yes, yes, I know. That's exactly what I was saying last time as well. I agree with that sentiment that even if she means well, and if she does love Maria, sometimes intentions are not really what matter. You know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. If the result of whatever you're doing is bad, then that's what it is. It doesn't matter if it was born from a good intention. Genuine understanding will lead to better results than punishment. Yeah, obviously. Just blind punishment, blind violence doesn't teach anything, doesn't solve anything. This part where they feel sorry and beg for forgiveness after the abuse could be considered the worst part. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Let me read it off stream. What? The whole point is that I'm doing it on stream. There's a term called love bombing, which is where an abuser will shower someone in too much affection to try to atone, manipulate them into forgiving them. Yeah, I've heard of it. I love the Maria Rosa scenes on stream. It always leads to interesting discussions. Yeah, I love it too. I love it too. I also love how people who are new around here feel like chiming in and comfortable enough to take on such a conflicting and complex topic. So I'm happy to have these conversations with you. I think judgment ultimately lies in the hand of Maria herself, and despite it all, she still loves her mama. That is also true. She does that. She does love her mother.
Maria, 助けてよ、ママ。悪い魔女をやっつけて
よ。いつまでもそこでそうしていなさい。そしてそこで魔女でもハロウィンでもいつまでもブツブツ一人で言ってればいいのよ。
After throwing those words at Maria, Rosa went off towards the guest house, leaving Maria behind. Maria, unable to even remember that it was alright to cry, kept staring down at the trampled, unrecognizable jack-o'-lantern candy. My heart.
あら、ローザ。
I don't know how dangerous that line of thought is. I understand where you're coming from, that obviously she's a child, she wants her mother, it's normal, any child would, but that doesn't mean that it trumps the fact that her mother is not being a good mother, which it does not. I will give it that. But in the end, it is up to the child. Not immediately, but as they grow up and they process this, it is up to them to decide how they feel about their parents. Thank you, Rosa, for beating the crap out of your daughter so we can have interesting discussions. What I mean is they gaslit victim into thinking that they didn't want to abuse them and that they won't do it again, just to break that promise later, and it actually works and makes victim more emotionally bound and dependent on the abuser. This is what I meant by worst part. It does not let victim realize they need to get away. That is true. That seems to be the cycle, and it's probably very real and why people stay. in those kinds of relations when they have a choice, right? When the both parties are adults and they can judge things and they can still decide to stay even if they could leave. For a child is even more complicated because the child is fully dependent on the adult, and it's no longer just the part about the emotional or physical abuse. It's about building up a framework inside the child where love equals pain. And that is incredibly dangerous. It is insidious. It is not as visible as the physical abuse or verbal abuse, but it is also a kind of wound, I guess, because they end up understanding love through the prism of pain and associating the two of them. So if they would ever be in a relationship, not necessarily a romantic relationship, but any type of relationship with another person where if things are calm and healthy, and they would be like, what is this? This is something that I don't know. This is scary, instead of appreciating it for what it is. Wow, this chat is going really fast. Okay. She still knows her mama better than we do as observers. I'm not trying to defend Rosa's actions here, mind you. Yeah, there is something to that thing that you're saying, that ultimately it is Maria's it is in Maria's wheelhouse to make the final judgment. We can only just say our own opinions about it. Sometimes you get blinded by being the person who happens to external point of view, and that is also true. But it still comes back to Maria, I would say. But I wouldn't necessarily put it on her at this age to make that judgment. Only later on. If the ultimate judgment relies on a 9-year-old getting beaten over and over by her mother, we can just completely abandon legal systems and ethic discussion. Yeah, it's what she's doing is pushing way beyond any sort of line of, let's say, understanding and justification. It's really not alright. I think it's important to also remember that we're reading fictional characters who were put in the story in this way for a reason by the author. And Rikishi clearly intends for people to think critically about her and have these discussions. Yeah. I also, that's, how do I put it? I feel comfortable enjoying these conversations with you because I know these are fictional characters. If it was a real life situation, I don't know. I would probably, my heart would be in too many broken pieces to even articulate anything. So thank you, Rikishi, you did a good job. Hit it. We appreciate that. The legal system is evidently not fit to look after a child, and ethics is a very different and abstract kind of discussion. I mean, that's a different kind of worms of, like, is the system designed to properly look after children? Ugh, probably not, but that still doesn't mean it's okay for Maria to be in this kind of environment. I think the onus is just on Rosa to freaking get her shit together. The cycle of abuse and forgiveness is something that often happens in abusive relationship between adults as well, and it even works for making an adult person hang on to this toxic relationship. That is true. We're on episode 2, right? Yes, we started episode 2 a couple streams ago. This is more of a thematic discussion than one that should be viewed through the lens of them being real people. Yes, agreed. I think sometimes people can forget, so I thought it's important to say this in these very heavy discussions. Yes. Perfectly fine, I agree with that. Discussing the characters and the themes of the story is interesting and all. But when... where is Bern drinking tea? I'm sorry. Okay, we'll get on with it. The cycle is what ultimately makes Rosa such a bad parent. She's very intolerant and strict, but then when she's apologetic, she enables Maria to completely indulge in her hobbies, and then later she punishes her for it again. She's pretty literally raising Maria to indulge as much as she can whenever she has a chance, and to expect violence in between those moments. Yeah, that is really bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with allowing children to indulge in things, as long as it's, you know, with a limit and they understand why there is a limit. So for example, if it's sweets, okay, you're gonna have this amount of candy, you cannot have more. Let's have a conversation about sugar intake and so on, you know, adapt it maybe to the level of a child and stuff like that, right? So if you, I'm pretty sure if you build up this kind of framework around your child and this kind of system of like, you can have this, but then you have to make up for it by doing this and this and that, they will understand. Children are not stupid. Like, I don't know why people act like that, but I'm pretty sure they will understand, especially if, maybe in the beginning, not immediately, right? But if you do it over time, constantly, they will get it. I'm sure they will get the point. Rosa going in between these extremes, she accomplishes nothing healthy, because one extreme is like famine and the other extreme is feast, and there is nothing in between, and neither of these are healthy, and they don't teach Maria anything. Right? Maria is just gonna keep being Maria, no matter how much Rosa yells at her or hits her or you know, gives her things and then takes them away and destroys them. This teaches Maria absolutely nothing. So, I don't know what she thinks she's accomplishing, because she's not. I did notice I had an Umineko sound drama in my playlist, and one day random shuffling opened the scene from the middle of it. And let me tell you, it had a Rosa and Maria scene like this, but voice actors were absolutely killing it. I closed my eyes and it was gut-wrenching. Oh no, oh my heart. Do it. Do it, Coach Vixie. It took me the first time. Oh my god. I don't know if therapy was even a thing to be considered back then. Wasn't the stigma even worse back then? And anything that goes along with stigma, they wouldn't do because, hello, they need to keep up appearances. Bear's rereads are into double digits. Yeah, I can imagine that. I think it said something about over 10 times that you read it for sure, so... If Succession is anything to go by, it wouldn't go well. Nah. Therapy is not even a thing in Japan, 1986. Yep. Therapy probably wasn't good in the USA yet, and as far as I know, it blossomed there. What do you mean in the USA? That it blossomed? Later on, you mean? Possibly. I don't know.
どこ行ってたの？
ごめんなさい。バラが素敵だったもので、ついつい。
あは。
ローザ、早く荷物を置いてこいよ。
How does she feel when she knows what she did and then she lies like that? How does it feel to be the person to do that? Because I would just... I don't know, just extract me from my seat at my comfortable desk and put me in this situation, and I would just want to go and bury myself like a few meters underneath the earth and never come out, because Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, voice actors are so good. Yes, I love the voice acting. Stellar for every character.
ん？マリアちゃんはどうしたんや？まだ花壇におるんかいな。
ええ、気に入ったバラがあるみたいで、世話をするって言って聞かなくて、しばらくは好きにさせることにしました。
女の子には女の子の世界があったことを、私たちはたまに忘れるわ。時には尊重してあげないとね。
そうね。
I forgot how Kansai Hideyoshi is. I like him. I like the way he speaks.
ゴーダさん、私たちの部屋はどこ？
ご案内いたします。こちらでございます。お荷物をお持ちいたしましょう。
Kirie
自分で持てます。
Kirie sees through Rosa like an X-ray, yeah. She's good like that with people, generally speaking. Rosa went into the room that Goda had guided her to. Closing the door somewhat violently, she threw her luggage on top of the bed. She got down on her knees in front of the bed and buried her face in it. For a while, Rosa made as if to shred the sheets with her fingernails, sobbing continually. Shiromiya has done nothing wrong ever.
Maria-sama. 大丈夫ですか?
Canon, who had been hiding behind a thicket, appeared after watching Rosa leave. Maria laughed unpleasantly, but the Canon, who had seen the whole thing, it looked like she was enduring as best she could. Yeah, obviously.
最低のやつだ。あれで母親なんて。
仕方ないよ。その程度の器には、その程度のが入り込む。マリアは全然平気だよ。
Canon got down on his knees and picked up the trampled candy. It was tragic, just looking at it. He thought about dusting it off and returning it to her, but really couldn't do so with it in that condition. As he was at a loss at what to do, he met eyes with Maria. No, they didn't meet. Maria was looking at the candy that Canon had picked up. Right now, Maria's heart was surely the same as that trampled candy which had been crushed into a pulp. Canon realized this, but he didn't know what he should do.
そうだ。さっき僕がもらったのと交換してあげるよ。
Canon remembered that an identical candy which he had received from Maria was in his pocket. Maria stuck out her hand. Canon thought she was trying to accept it, so he held out the candy, but Maria didn't try to grasp it. Then Canon realized she was asking him to give it back. No matter how tragic it was, the trampled candy was Maria's. Her mother had bought it for her. No matter how tragic, it had to be this candy. If only it could be made pretty again by dusting it off. Canon hung his head.
僕には誇りを払う程度しかできない。ごめん。
Canon held out the miserable candy she wanted. Maria took it and spoke.
ありがとう。人間には誇りしか払えないけど、魔女には元通りに直すことができるよ。ベアトリーチェなら簡単にね。
I mean, of course this enforces her belief in witches and magic even more. It's even more of an escape for her when this happens. Ooh, nice! Coach Vixie knows Japanese. That's very nice. It's hard to read for native speakers sometimes because Rikishi gets really weird with his knowledge vocab kanji usage. But I listen to the VAs. Oh, that's nice. There's a Japanese person, Umi, let's read of OG novel episodes 1-4 where they read everything aloud and they solve episodes. Oh, wow, interesting. Interesting.
Maria-sama,
that's probably...
様のことをご存知なのですか?
That would probably be really fun for someone who has a bit of a more in-depth knowledge of Japanese. There couldn't be anyone related to the Ushiromiya family who didn't know Beatrice's name, with Battler as an exception. But just now, Maria had told Battler about her proudly. She had spoken almost as though she had been meeting with Beatrice regularly. The inside of the fist Canon made with his left hand hurt sharply. In the past, the witch called Beatrice had appeared and had tempted him and Shannon. He had always tried to make himself think it had been a bad dream. However, Shannon insisted that it had definitely been a real witch. And then, this summer, the shrine to the local Shinto god had been hit by lightning and had disappeared without a trace in the span of a single night. He had known that Shannon had broken the mirror, and he remembered too that upon the witch's departure she had left him with the words that she would eventually be revived. And now this girl who had no end of faith in Beatrice spoke as though she had met her. Canon couldn't suppress a sense of something ominous welling up in his heart. For a while, Maria remained silent as though she could see into Canon's heart. As though she was waiting for his memory of Beatrice to come back to him. Don't get me, my Japanese is atrocious. atrocious. Mine is probably all the way under ocean levels. Like, no. As though she was waiting for his memory of Beatrice to come back to him. Okay. Then she spoke matter-of-factly.
マリアはね、ベアトリーチェとお友達なの。今日だって会って一緒に遊ぶよ。
遊びますか？
うん、遊ぶよ。一緒にね、魔法のお勉強をするの。
The face of the witch, who Canon had tried to pretend was a bad dream, began to slowly creep into the back of his mind.
お父様は研究で大変ご多忙と仰せです。残念ながらこちらへはおいでになれないとのことです。
やれやれ、こちとら秋の大忙しの中、日程をつけてはるばる六軒島まで来てるんだぜ。親父も少しは愛想をよくしてもらいたいもんだぜ。
ほんとよね。南條先生、本当に研究や機嫌の問題なの？ベッドから起き上がれないくらいに容体が悪いって言うんじゃないの？
さて、どうでしょうかな。
All the languages, please.
私の口からは何とも。
Nanjo glanced at Natsuhi, as though he wasn't qualified to disregard Natsuhi when he spoke on this topic.
お父様はますますにご健康でいらっしゃいます。寝たきりなどと失礼極まりない。
でも余命3ヶ月なんでしょ？普通に考えれば痩せ衰えてベッドからも起きられないはずよ。でしょ、南條先生？
波の患者ならそうでしょうがな。金蔵さんは並外れた気力をお持ちです。
I do appreciate the power that this has to get us all interacting here in one place. People from all over the globe that wouldn't have met otherwise. If you sit and think about it a little bit, it's quite something, you know? It's nice. Thank you for coming around.
あの気迫にお迎えも恐れて近寄れないのかもしれませんな。
I can already picture Grim Reaper being like seeing Kinzo crying for Beatrice and being like, yeah, nope, not today. Bye. Team Kumasawa is scrubs. You like Natsuhi Desolane? That's what you mean? I don't like mackerel though.
それほどまでにお元気なら少なくとも安心ね。
そこまで元気ならせめて挨拶くらいはさせてほしいもんなんだがな。親族会議ってのは親父の顔を見に来たって意味なんだぜ。
No, it's the point is to come and discuss what you're gonna do with his money.
これじゃ何のために来たのかわからねえぜ。
そう言うな。いればいたで心が休まらないといつもぼやくのだろうが。兄弟一同水入らずで今年も全員欠けることなく集まれたことを喜ぼうじゃないかね。
昨年の親族会議でも会えなかったのよ。
Okay. Keep at it. It's really entertaining to watch.
血を分けた子供たちが2年ぶりに挨拶したいというのがどうして理解してもらえないのかしら。
挨拶の言葉があるのでしたら、私どもがお伝えします。それとも、エヴァさん、何かお父様にお会いして、挨拶以上のお話でもあられるのですか？
夏に。
いやね。何の話よ、もう。
予算か、エヴァ。夏井さん、堪忍な。エヴァも娘としてお父さんの病状が不安なだけなんや。
Definitely.
ちょいと気持ちを汲み取ってな。
She's concerned about why he's not dying faster.
その通りだな。エヴァは親父殿が余命を宣告されてから急に親孝行をするようになったじゃないか。なるほど。その姿をぜひ見てもらいたいという気持ちもわからなくない。
何が言いたいのよ。
よせよ、姉貴。晩飯までには機嫌を直してくれるよう祈ろうじゃねえか。それに俺たちは到着したばかり。まずは軽く挨拶に訪れただけだぜ。親族会議は親父抜きだってできる。いや、兄弟で意見を統一してからじゃなきゃ話せねえことだっていろいろあるはずだぜ。な、秀吉兄さん。
そうや。ルドルフ君の言う通りや。わしらが全員顔を揃えるのは年に一度しかない。貴重な時間を大事にし、汚ない話し合いをせんといかん。
Even though the tea hadn't even come yet, they were very strong-minded.
でも、その前に本家の素晴らしい調度品に囲まれた客間で、のんびりと紅茶を楽しむゆとりがあってもいいんじゃないかしら。
Kirie's words seemed to hold some slight admonishment toward all of the people gathered in that place. Yes, Kirie is very good at that. Like, she doesn't say it, but she implies it, and you can tell that she's implying it, unless you're playing dumb. I like that way. It's so aspirational for me because I don't think I would have the composure, the eloquence, and the grace to pull something like that off. They all understood, and as they cleared their throats and straightened their neckties, the atmosphere in the room returned to normal for a moment. Yeah.
失礼します。お茶をお持ちいたしました。
よー、シャノンちゃん。ますますべっぴんさんになったな。
I can't imagine what Eva is thinking hearing her husband praise Shannon, given the context. Shannon entered the parlor pushing the serving cart. I wanted to get in on the multi-language fun. Yeah, go for it. All that's missing is for someone to type in Romanian and make me be like, wait, what? I would definitely do a double take. Everyone decided to slowly enjoy some black tea for the time being. Yes, good choice. A wonderful aroma began to spread throughout the parlor. Looking at that scene, it would have been impossible to guess the strained atmosphere which had been there until right before Shannon had entered. Of course, Shannon, who was setting out the tea, probably didn't even notice. Kirie made a gesture that seemed to laugh at everyone's adult appearance. Rudolph didn't like it when Kirie took the initiative and spoke at the family conference. It was his worthless male pride. Yeah, she's doing too good of a job, eh? I'm good with moving between English and Japanese or English and Spanish, but Japanese to Spanish breaks my brain. I don't know. I see what you mean. Is Spanish your mother tongue? Because I think I would have the same issue. And I think I like, yeah, I went to some Japanese courses at some point, and it was really weird for a while to have Japanese explained to me in Romanian. Maybe because English had always been the proxy through which I had experienced or learned about Japanese before. So there was always this layer in between my native language and Japanese, and it was never a direct connection. Maybe that's why. I learned it not very well growing up with my family, learning it more properly now via English. Ah, okay. So it's not that case. Then if it's not a language that you are fully versed in, then I understand why the switch would be. Like, if you're not fully fluent in it, it would be difficult to switch from one to the other. He probably didn't want to look like a weak man taking his wife's advice. Dude! You got a great wife. Just, she stands on her own and you stand on her own. And she standing on her own doesn't put you down in any way. Multilingual Giga Chads, yeah. You have all of my respect. She understood that and was doing her best to refrain from saying anything unnecessary. So she separated herself from the circle of siblings, which was good-natured only in appearance, and slowly enjoyed her tea near the window.
あら、ローザさん、兄弟で水入らずなのでは？
ご冗談を。
Natsuhi so dedicating Kraus is like, but my masculinity. I'm sorry. It's true though. It's true for both of them, right? But this was about Rudolph though. I had to double check so I'm sure I'm not crazy here. But this was about Rudolph feeling... is he feeling emasculated by Kirie just being outspoken? That's kind of sad. But yeah, it applies to Kraus as well. They're both... Jesus. No worries, no worries. It's okay. It applies for both anyway, so makes sense. I love it though.
ごめんなさい。気を悪くしないで。
Ah, Swedish, nice. Chidori with the Swedish. Hit it.
うちの夫に呆れてるだけだから。
It seemed that Rosa hadn't been able to keep up the charade of amicability. They had come here to fight boldly and dirtily, each trying to steal the inheritance from the others. She probably didn't want to pretend to be fellow conspirators at this stage. Or maybe she was still much too inexperienced for that.
だいぶ風が出てきているようですね。枝葉があんなに揺れて。
Kitty is also great, but more like would stab a bitch.
もう台風が近くまで来ているのでしょうね。今夜あたりからはだいぶ降るのかしら。
I think I like Kitty and Natsuhi quite equally at this moment. For different reasons. And they're both not actually
この1年で随分立派になりましたね。
related by blood to the family. Ah, that's a good one, Bixie. Thank you. Kraus probably closes the door behind himself with a fully outstretched hand so that everyone thinks his manhood is so large he's afraid of getting it slammed off. Oh man, I don't know.
そう見えます。未だに自分のお洋服を畳むことすらできないんですよ。
へえ。
ええ。こんなにも愛情たっぷりなお母さんと一緒なんですもの。
Oh God. Oh God, Kiria, what are you saying?
心の豊かな子に成長しますよ。
Oh God, the tension. Rosa was silent. Maybe she was unsure as to how Kiria meant that. I mean, this is not about how Kiria meant it. It's about how you're taking it. Because if you hear that and you feel bad, then that's a symptom of something. Like, it doesn't matter how Kiria meant it. If Kiria had meant it badly, but it was untrue, it wouldn't affect you, would it? It's affecting you because it's possible that she meant it well, and you know the truth. Carlos would pay a guy to Photoshop his hand to be bigger in every photo if he lived in the 2020s. 2010s, sorry, what? Ah, okay. Photoshop his bank card to be platinum. Oh my lord.
母親失格ですよ。子に生まれる親は選べない。あの子がかわいそうで。
お互い様じゃないですか。親だって生まれる子は選べない。
Kiria with the wisdom. Like, yeah, it's true. Children can choose what kind of parents they have, and parents can't choose what kind of children they have. They just have to work with what is there. On both sides. Rosa bit her lower lip.
どちらが悪いとかじゃなくて、一緒に生きていくんだという気持ちで、ゆっくり成長を見守ってあげればいいじゃないですか。
Preach it, Kiria.
ローザさんは毎日をマリアちゃんと過ごしてるから、小さな変化に気づかないかもしれないけれど、1年ぶりに再会した私たちには、その大きな成長ぶりがよくわかりますよ。
もし、本気で言ってくれてるなら、ありがとうございます。
それでは、失礼いたします。ご用がありましたらいつでもお呼びつけください。
Shannon bowed politely and left the room. After Hideyoshi and Rudolph watched her go with turned heads, the atmosphere in the room began to revert back to what it had been right before Shannon had visited.
お父様がいらっしゃられないなら、それはそれでできる話もあるというものよ。ねえ、ルドルフ？
ああ、そうだな。俺たちははるばるここまで埃の匂いがする紅茶を飲みに来たわけじゃねえぜ。
One of the artists for the manga ships Eva and Natsuhi? What? So there's official but non-canon art of them in the manga. It's interesting. Okay. That's an odd pairing. I wouldn't have thought of it. Okay.
よかろう。1秒を争ってお前たちがしたいという話を聞こうじゃないか。
やれやれ。たくましい人たちね。
Okay. So it comes from possibly comes from a negative place.
早速始めたわ。
私も加わらないといけないわ。あの人たち、私が主張しないと4人兄弟であることをすぐ忘れるから。
I know that it's a popular ship in the art community, but it's a typical stuff to ship characters that hate each other. I guess. I'm just not very much in tune with the shipping community. Yeah, I'm not very much on the internet, so I don't really notice the trends in what people like to ship together. It really depends on if they take it as in Eva tries to encourage Natsuhi to be more girl boss. Canonically, it would be hilariously toxic. Yeah, definitely. Natsuhi and Eva have more in common with each other as opposed to their husbands. I guess. if you put it that way. But to be honest, I kind of liked the tender moments between Hideyoshi and Eva. They feel right together from what we saw so far. Like, that felt very genuine and tender. So... Smart and capable, okay. Yeah, I mean, they are. Hideyoshi is my bro. He's cool, though. I kind of like him. Hideyoshi is the only adult member of the family that is actually a good person. He does seem like it. He does seem genuinely good. He does get a little bit intense when the inheritance discussion was going on. Like, he was holding strongly onto his position and defending the slice that he would want for his family, and I can understand that because he is fighting for the well-being of his family, right? So it's not just about him, so his claws kind of come out a little bit. But generally he does strike me as a genuinely nice person. Is it spoilers? I don't know. I think it's fine so far. I don't know. It doesn't make me think of anything in particular, that sentence.
あなたも大変ね。ちょっと言葉を選ばなかったかしら。ごめんなさい。
ううん。気にしてません。こちらこそごめんなさい。私たち互いに娘を持つ母親同士なんだから、もっと交流しなきゃいけないのに。
Like, see, Rosa seems genuine in this.
いつも会えば変な話ばかりで。
この屋敷の空気のせいよ。ここの空気を嗅ぐと、いつも私たちはギスギスし合ってるもの。ローザさんとは親族会議じゃない席で、一度ゆっくりお茶でも飲みたいわ。
Aw, I would want to hear that conversation. I would want that to happen. Aw.
銀座に行きつけの素敵な喫茶店があるの。ぜひ今度招待させて。
ありがとう、キリエさん。その時はぜひ。
いやーね、急に空が暗くなってきたわ。まるでこの部屋の人たちが天気を悪くしてるみたい。
おきり。
もうゴロゴロ鳴ってるわ。あら、ぽつりと来たかしら。
There really were small splashes of rain on the glass of the parlor window. It seemed that the weather had gotten worse faster than they had expected. Just then a silent thunderbolt struck inside Rosa's head, and she remembered that her beloved child was in the rose garden. A normal girl would think about going into the house if the weather got bad, but Maria was different. She would sometimes become stubborn and wouldn't move no matter whether rain or even spears fell from the sky. We read this before. This part is happening again. That's right, I told that kid just stay there doing that forever, didn't I? At this small exclamation, everyone turned to look at Rosa.
なんだ、どうしたんだね。
ごめんなさい。ちょっと表に行ってきます。すぐ戻ります。
なんだなんだ、どうしたってんだあいつ。
いいじゃない。すぐ戻るわよ。それより始めたら？私たちの本題。
そうね。ローザ抜きでも進められる話よ。話を戻しましょう。
Rosa dashed from the entrance hall into the rose garden. When she opened the door, the wind that hit her was too strong to be called a breeze, and told her that the typhoon was approaching faster than she had thought. Just as Kitty had said, small droplets of rain were mixed in with the wind. There was also the rumble of thunder. It could start raining any time. Rosa headed for the rose garden. She headed for the place where she had scolded Maria a short while ago. It was almost lunchtime. The children had been told that they could just come to the mansion at lunchtime, so they were probably in the guest house waiting to be called. Even if Maria didn't come, they would surely think that I had taken her to the mansion with me and wouldn't worry much. After all, she was with her mother, so there shouldn't have been anything to worry about. Except I was here and I had thrown my daughter into the worsening weather outside all alone. Maria! It really was as I thought. She was standing standing stock still, exactly the same way she had been in the place where I had scolded her. Held in her hand was the candy that I had bought, given her, and then stepped on and crushed. With that gripped in her hand, she had been standing there as the strong wind whipped her hair about, tormenting her. Maria is too pure for this world. Yeah. Rosa buried her face in Maria's small chest, crying and begging forgiveness. And those tears dripped down again, as they had countless times before. If only the brilliant sun had been shining on the two of them, all of their cares would have evaporated and they would have felt like they could begin anew. However, what surrounded the two of them was the worsening weather. The strong winds mixed in with the sound of thunder were saddening. Rosa noticed the sound of Maria sniffling. If she stood exposed to the wind for too long, she would probably catch a cold.
さあ、マリア、もうすぐお昼よ。ママと一緒にお屋敷に行きましょう。行かない。どうして？
Rosa thought that Maria had already forgiven her, so she never imagined she would refuse. But that expression on Maria's face didn't look like that of a child resisting her mother. So Rosa wasn't able to understand why Maria wanted to stand still in the rose garden pointlessly as the weather grew even worse. She needs to find her rose, right? Isn't that the reason she stayed there? Maria answered that question. Ah, okay. It's that. Oh, man.
Maria.
Rosa started to say something, faltered, and then fell silent. They had just gone to great lengths to make up with each other. Yep. She chose her words carefully, trying to get Maria to come with her to the mansion without denying the witch outright.
ベアトリーチェが来るの？そう。なら、ここじゃなくて、お屋敷の中で待ちましょう。いつまでもこんな風の中にいたら、風邪をひいてしまうわ。来る！ベアトリーチェは来る！そしたらね、ベアトリーチェにね、お菓子あげるの。トリックオアトリートするの。ジャックオーランタンのマシュマロお菓子あげて、ハッピーハロウィンって言うの。
Maria pulled yet another sweet out of her handbag, moaning, "Ooh." Rosa was bewildered, not knowing what to do as Maria started being difficult again. Just then, there was a sudden and massive roar of thunder. It was probably a sign. I wonder what flavor the jack-o'-lantern marshmallow candy is. Orange? Wouldn't it be pumpkin? Because it's a pumpkin. I don't know. It was probably a sign that indicated this island had become closed off by the storm and detached from common sense and reality. Pumpkin candy sounds kinda nasty. I don't know. I forgot you could eat pumpkin. Yes, but they don't have that strong of a taste, and as Desolane says, it's I don't know how suitable it is for candy, you know, a pumpkin flavor. I have no idea. Therefore, as of this moment, all common sense would no doubt be useless. The wind blew even stronger, and in the middle of a blizzard of scattered rose petals, a figure appeared, leaving Rosa momentarily unable to imagine that this was a scene from reality. No, probably it was. It had to be fantastical. Because that figure was shaped like. Eh? Maria dashed over to the figure. Normally, Rosa would scold her daughter if she dashed over to a complete stranger. But Rosa forgot about that, unable to do anything but stand there shocked.
久しぶりよ。元気であったか？マリアは
元気。魔女は風邪をひかない。
Beatrice in her casual outfit. Mm-hmm.
魔女は呪いにて風邪をひかせはするが、自らがひいてはなんとも間抜けな話よ。せいぜい自らが風邪をひくことなどないよ。
She patted Maria's head as she said this, smiling roguishly. Rosa couldn't have known the name of the woman who was happily spoiling Maria. However, Maria had called to her in the beginning when she had appeared. Therefore, even though Rosa had never met her, and even though she hadn't named herself, Rosa was able to learn her name. However, that name held a special meaning on Rokkenjima and in the Ushiromiya family. There's no way something so stupid could...
Beatrice! Happy Halloween! ほら、買ったの。ベアトにもあげる。
うん。ハッピーハロウィン。
Like a braid crown. Oh, yeah. That is true. I hadn't thought about it that way.
これをわらわにとな。天国にも地獄にも行けず、煉獄の闇にてさまよう男の唯一の明かりも、こうして歌手となれば実に可愛らしいことよ。人の世とも、人ならざる者との世とも切り離された今のこの島で、これほどふさわしい歌詞はないかもしれぬな。ん？マリア、それはどうしたのか？
The witch noticed the sweet that Maria was grasping. It was Maria's candy, which had been stomped on by Rosa and had taken on a pitiful shape.
おお、踏んづけて潰れちゃった。ベアトは元に戻せる？
Maria deliberately didn't say that it was her mother who had stepped on it. However, when the witch saw the candy, for some reason she looked at Rosa and grinned. A chill went down Rosa's spine as though she felt that this gaze could see through every part of her.
たやすいことよ。貸すがよい。
Maria held out the candy gleefully. Rosa could do nothing but watch this unfold, stunned. How could this person gloss over the fact that the candy was pitifully trampled in a way that could satisfy Maria? Maria looked as though she believed that it could be fixed as good as new. There was no way that could be done without real magic.
これは、見事に潰れているな。さあさあマリア、目を閉じて思い出してごらんなさい。本当はあんなにも素敵なお菓子だったから、思い出の中のお菓子はいつもふっくら。だからあなたも思い出してごらんなさい。本当はどんなお菓子だったのか。
Along with those strange words spoken as though singing an improvised folk song, the witch threw the sweet into the air. Maria had her eyes closed just as the witch had told her and was focused on remembering the shape that the crushed candy had really been. Therefore, only Rosa saw that scene. The sweet, which had been thrown into the air, burst into a gold color. No, those were golden butterflies. It scattered into several golden butterflies, and they began to assemble in the witch's hand, held up to the sky. And when they had, unbelievably, the candy had returned to its beautiful original form, just like the time it had been bought. Only Rosa and the witch had watched that scene. Unable to understand the event that was occurring right in front of her eyes, Rosa stood with her mouth open, forgetting to shut it.
もう目を開けてよいぞ。受け取るがよい。これでそなたの歌詞も元通りだ。
ベアトリーチェはいつもすごい。
There was a very bold contrast between Rosa's shocked appearance and Maria's innocently joyful one. Was that what the witch was laughing at? A smile floated to Beatrice's face, different from the one she had shown Maria.
わらわの顔が何かに似ているというのか？そうまじまじと見られては穴も開こうぞ。
ごめんなさい。
At those words, it hit Rosa strongly. Rosa knew her face. She knew it from the portrait of the witch. But no, wait, was this mystery woman really?
マリア、この菓子の代わりに、そなたにはこれを与えよう。
おお、手紙？
The witch pulled a western envelope from her pocket and gave it to Maria. However, when Maria made to open it, the witch stopped her.
ならぬ。それを開けるときはすぐに訪れるが、それまで決して開けてはならぬ。大事に持っているがよい。そなたを黄金鏡へ誘う招待状となろう。黄金鏡、やっと連れてってくれるんだね。大事にしまっておくのだぞ。誰にも見せてはならぬ。
守る。魔女との約束は絶対に守る。
そして、これはそなたへだ。
え？
私。
She probably hadn't imagined that the witch would speak to her too. Rosa was bewildered by this second western envelope which had been thrust before her. She remembered having seen that western envelope before. There could be no mistake. It was Kinzo's special envelope used when he wrote with his own hand and bearing the Ushiromiya crest. Oh, hey! Thank you so much for the resub, Ollie. How's it going? Hi. Moreover, it was sealed with red sealing wax, and further still, it had an imprint which seemed to have been made by the head's ring. In other words, irrespective of what was written inside, this woman, whom Maria called Beatrice, was trusted enough that she was in charge of a personal letter from the current Ushiromiya head.
Four 兄弟の誰でもよかった。だが、ここでそなたと出会ったということは、金蔵のルーレットがそなたを選んだということなのだろう。ならば受け取るがよい。そしてその中身を、全兄弟の揃う晩餐の席上で読み上げよ。
It's melting warm. How is it in your countries? It's the same. Also, MQZ is playing the hell out of Diablo 4, which makes his PC turn into a heater. So that doesn't help. But that's okay. Oh, that sounds amazing, Zikto. Please give me your weather inside. That would be nice. Rosa looked back and forth several times between the witch's face and the envelope she had been handed. Today was the family conference, and the biggest object of discussion was the inheritance problem. So she had joined together with Eva and Rudolf, and they had planned to force certain conditions upon Kraus to try to extort a prompt payment of several 100 million yen out of him. It was as if the witch could see through all of that. And when all of the siblings are gathered, what is she planning on announcing to us? I just started the game and the card turns into a steam boiler. Yeah. 30 degrees during the day, sweets can function in this warmth. Oh my god, Chidori, that's a lot. For Sweden, I mean, I can't imagine. I think we're just envious of the weather. Yeah. With a personal envelope that no one but the Ushiromiya head can use.
マリア、天気が崩れるぞ。ゲストハウスへ戻り、昼を待つがよい。 それではローザ、後ほど会おう。その席で改めて名乗らせてもらおうぞ。
The witch turned her back to her, laughing. A tourist invitation? And headed off towards the mansion with an air of composure. Maria saw her off with an energetic reply, and then dashed off towards the guest house, leaving Rosa where she was. As though she didn't want to waste a second in informing the other cousins of her good fortune at meeting the witch. Ultimately, Rosa was left alone in the rose garden as the winds grew stronger, unable to do anything except pray that what had happened was just a daydream. I don't know what I'm supposed to make of the differences between the first time around and this time. So I'm just letting it play out right now and not commenting on it much. But I am confused and intrigued at the same time. When the witch entered the entrance hall, Genji was there. With a respectful bow, Genji welcomed the guest who approached from the entrance hall.
"久しぶりだな、源氏。老いたではないか。
どれほどに老いようとも、家具は家具らしく、最後までお務めを果たすのみでございます。
Southern Sweden, where the climate is either ice cold or mega hot nowadays. In the north, it's never ever warm. Okay. Beatrice got a new profile. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting to check profiles. My bad. Oh my god. Okay, that is very cute. I gotta say, it's a very cute outfit. Have people cosplayed this? If not, that's a missed opportunity. It's really cute. Mysterious visitor, a 19th person who appeared on the day of the family conference. Goes by the same name as the Golden Witch who granted Kinzo his gold. Both the reason and the purpose of her visit are unknown. She was ushered into the VIP room which no one had been allowed to use in the past. Okay, okay. Camouflage ninjutsu time. uh...
晴れの妻がお前に嫉妬したことも懐かしい。
People only cosplay Baroncast. I've seen some pretty good Umineko cosplay. Nice, nice. I still remember seeing a Beatrice cosplayer at one of the conventions that we used to have in the distant past here in Romania. And I recognized the character because she was kind of popular or whatever, but I'd never ever thought that one day I would be here reading the novel where she comes from. It's very interesting.
Kinzo は元気か？
大変お元気にございます。
I really want to do an Eva cosplay. Ooh, nice. Very nice. Go for it. The witch's laugh was probably because she knew that Kinzo's own doctor had told him that he would not live much longer. However, if anyone actually looked at Kinzo, his energy and vigor, which made it extremely difficult to imagine that his remaining life really was slim, might make it natural to call him full of life. Maybe the witch had laughed at that.
挨拶に行こうではないか。30年ぶりに。互いに呪いの言葉を吐き合うもよかろう。
As the witch grinned, she started walking, leaving Genji behind. Her gait was like that of a family member who knew the inside of the mansion well. Genji followed her as though he served her. At that very moment, Kirie came out of the parlor. She had probably come out to fix her makeup or something. And when she saw Genji following the witch, she was surprised, although her expression did not change. There was a visitor for Kinzo, whose remaining life was not long, on the day of the family conference when the fate of the inheritance was to be decided. And furthermore, this person was well enough acquainted with the Ushiromiya family that Genji was following behind her. Kirie immediately realized that this person who she had never met before was someone deeply important. Kirie met eyes with the witch. Realizing that it would be rude to pretend not to notice, she greeted the witch.
はじめまして。ルドルフの5歳だったか。
さようでございます。ルドルフ様の今の奥方様であられます。キリエ様でございます。
From this exchange, Kirie realized that this woman was a guest of considerably higher rank within the Ushiromiya family, and the fact she was a guest of that level, coupled with the face of the entrance hall portrait behind her, made Kirie's eyes open wide in an instant. Episode 1, Beatrice doesn't show up even once. Episode 2, Beatrice waltzes in through the damn front door. Yes, yes she does. Okay. I am slightly confused, but for the moment I'm just rolling with it to see where this goes.
キリエと申します。初対面でしょうか。もし以前に挨拶をしていたなら、名前を忘れてしまって申し訳ございません。
I guess this is the game that Beatrice is playing with Battler. And so now she's inserting herself everywhere to kind of see where the events would flow. I don't know. Let's see.
うすうすは想像がついているくせに、わらわにあえて名乗らそうというのか?
Kirie had thought she had given her a sociable and humble greeting. Her expression grew slightly cloudy at that openly oppressive response. It didn't seem like this was a person she could grow to like. Clearly. But if Kirie's imagination was correct, this witch likely held a huge key to what her own husband was most interested in, and one that stood a great chance of influencing tonight's family conference. So she did not shoot back a retort and could only watch in silence as the woman went up the stairs to the second floor with Genji following behind. So when someone tapped her shoulder from behind, she was so surprised she almost choked. It was Natsuhi.
キリエさん、このようなところに立ち尽くして、いかがなさいましたか？
ごめんなさい。ちょっと魔女の肖像画に見とれていただけです。
黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェですか。今日の後宮家の復興は、彼女が授けた黄金がなければ成し遂げられなかったとか。お父様らしい、幻想的なお話ですね。
Natsuhi spoke of her in her usual way. She spoke from the position that the idea of a witch was just foolish, and that in the end it was nothing more than Kinzo's ramblings. Yeah, no, I can see that there are divergences and differences. Like, things are already going completely differently here than the other one. So, yeah, I'm just rolling with it and see in which way this completes the picture or confuses the picture or whatever. We'll see how they get pieced together afterwards. However, for some reason, that no longer felt right to Kirie. Just now, she herself had seen the Golden Witch come in from the entrance hall and climb up the stairs. So Natsuhi's choice of words seemed almost like a refusal to accept her existence, or as if she was leading her to think that she did not exist.
ごめんなさい。少し頭痛がする気がして。
You think?
ちょっと休もうと思います。
あら、そうですか？なら、良い頭痛薬がありますよ。用意させましょう。
Now the only thing left is to figure the rules governing the story. Oh god, I will never figure them out. I'm just telling you straight ahead. Don't expect much from me. The hallway in front of Kinzo's study was filled with the scent of sweet poison particular to that green liquor. Genji, who was completely used to it, did not grimace. And the Golden Witch didn't grimace either.
この中からどれほど出ぬのか。
すでに数年になるかと思います。
それほどまでにわらわをカゴの鳥としたいか。哀れな。それを願うそなたが今やカゴの鳥。書斎の亡霊ではないか。それに気づけぬとは哀れな男よ。
あなた様と再びお会いする日までは、おそらく文字通り亡霊となっても研究を続けられるでしょう。
愛か狂気か猛襲か、それも講じれば魔力となるか。悲しき魔術師よ。
The witch grasped the doorknob to the study. When she did, there was a sound like that of flesh burning and splitting open. It was the sound of the doorknob literally burning the witch's hand.
ベアトリーチェ様。
なんだこれは。魔除けか。あやつめ。こんなものに頼らなければ、おのがみも保てぬというのか。
その扉は、ベアトリーチェ様にはおつらいものと伺っております。私がお開けいたしましょうか。
いや、よい。あやつが勝てば、わらわは永遠のカゴの鳥。あやつが負ければ、愛に狂い、すべてを失った哀れな魔術師の生涯が、笑い草となって残るだけ。もはや金蔵もわらわさえも、ゲーム盤に並べられた駒に過ぎぬ。あとは、ルーレットの目が勝敗を分けるだけよ。ルーレットが目を見せるまで、わらわと金蔵が再会する必要はない。
The witch looked at her hand, which, although horribly burned, was beginning to heal bit by bit.
あるいは、そのための魔除けなのか。なるほど。それもまた潔し。すべては今や、金蔵のゲーム盤の上よ。気に入ったぞ、金蔵。そなたとのゲーム、楽しませてもらうぞ。わらわに恋焦がれ、すべての生涯を投げ出したローマ術師の最後のギャンブル。
Okay.
誰か。失礼いたします。昼食をお持ちいたしました。入れ。失礼いたします。
After receiving approval, Canon entered the VIP room pushing the lunch-serving cart. The servants called this room the witch's VIP room. That was because they had been strictly ordered by Kinzo to always keep it clean so that it could be used at any time. And yet the guests were never allowed into this room, no matter who they were. That's why at some point the servants had started calling it the witch's VIP room, supposed to be set aside only to welcome the special person Kinzo was waiting for, the witch from the portrait. And today, Canon learned that this was entirely correct. When he entered the room, the witch with golden hair was gazing out the window. Outside, the rain had already started to gather strength. As she looked out at the beautiful rose garden, which had taken several days' work to make ready for today, and saw the winds and rain ravage it, was she lost in some sentimental feelings? Canon was not able to infer anything more from her back that faced him.
お食事の用意をさせていただきます、ベアトリーチェ様。
So Canon went out of his way to call out the witch's name, because he wanted to make her turn around. He wanted to know whether the witch who had tempted him in Shannon in the past really had appeared again. When he did, the witch whose name had been called kept her back to him and laughed. Laughed in a subdued voice. Canon was startled. It was almost as though she had read his mind and knew that he had called to her out of a desire to make her turn around.
良い匂いだな。どうやらクラウスは良い料理人を入れたと見える。
はい。近年入ったゴーダという料理人です。
料理の腕が良きことは何にも勝るものよ。美食は人の世で生きる快楽の山中をなす。千年を飽きぬにはこれを欠かさぬが秘訣よ。
Canon and the witch's eyes met, and she grinned. There could be no doubt. Not even the slightest. This was without a doubt the witch from that day, Beatrice. The witch that was once visible only to him and Shannon now finally held a form, and had arrived openly through the entrance hall as a guest.
Beatrice-sama.
You like Goda, Bea?
久しぶりよの。家具の。カノン。
お久しぶりでございます。
Canon tried not to forget the modicum of courtesy towards the guest. But dark clouds had begun to enshroud his heart because of the visit of this suspicious witch, and on the day of the family conference at that...
何をしに現れたのかと気が気でならぬと見える。そうであろう。
Canon didn't force himself to answer. This witch probably reads minds, so it would be pointless to go to all the trouble of saying it out loud. Of course, even that rebellious spirit of his would be read. So the witch snickered at Canon's childish resistance.
金蔵との最後の約束を果たしに来た。
親方様との最後の約束。
わらわは金蔵に山をなす黄金を貸し付けた。それを金蔵が放棄するとき、わらわは利子をつけて返却を受けることになっておる。
Okay. Sure, show me.
今宵、それをもらい受けに来た。
僕には何の話かわかりません。
However, anxiety began to gather in his heart. This witch never had anything good to say.
違いない。魔女の話にろくなものはないぞ。そなたは正しい。されど、魔女とハサミは使いようだ。ソロモン王のように偉業を成し遂げる者も時にはおる。最も多くの場合は、童話が語るように、ろくな目には合わんがな。しかし、金蔵も食えぬ。わらわの利子の取り立てすらも、自らの儀式に取り込みおった。わらわをも超える、とてつもない大魔術師か。さもなければ、狂気に取りつかれたただの知れ者か。面白い。実に面白い。
Canon couldn't guess what the witch was muttering and laughing about. All he knew was that anything this witch deemed worthy of laughter must have the exact opposite meaning to the rest of them. And rising to the back of his mind were the horrifying words the witch had spat at him in the past. Did you think I would lend them that power without any compensation? I'll lend a hand in love, and my compensation shall be one ticket to watch the cruel fate that the two of them will eventually meet. Even after 1,000 years, no better show exists.
Masaka, お前は
懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。黄金鏡を目指す者よ。これを下りて鍵を探せ。
The witch suddenly began to recite the bizarre poem. It was something he remembered hearing.
それはまさか魔女の碑文。
There was no doubt. It was the epitaph accompanying the portrait of the witch that had been hung by Kinzo. The relatives imagined that it almost certainly pointed to the location of the hidden gold, but no one knew what it meant. The witch had suddenly begun reciting that epitaph.
Canon、家具である貴様なら、金蔵から聞いていよう。すべてを。黄金鏡へ返す日がやってきたのだ。喜ぶがいい。お前の恥辱にまみれた家具の日々が。お前はそれをずっと望んできたはず。自らに存在価値を持たぬ家具にとって、ただ存在するだけの日々は苦痛に他ならない。魂ある者にとって、写しよは固執すべきものだが、亡き者にとって写しよは、
Complicated expressions flitted across Canon's face. It was the day of release that he had been looking forward to. However, the coming of this day had been mercilessly sudden, and the hateful tone of the witch who had proclaimed this day of rest made it somehow difficult to accept. Canon wasn't even able to decide what emotion he should feel.
なぜに喜ばぬ？それとも、写しよに何かの未練があるというのか？家具の分際で。
未練などない。僕は家具だから。
貴様は実に模範的な家具だな。よいよい。しかし、何の未練もないとはつくづく面白みのない。
未練こそがお前の快楽だというのか。
その通り。1000年も生きると大抵の魔女は生き飽きる。わらわは退屈から逃れるために人間たちの運命にブランデーや果実を練り込み、ケーキのように焼き上げるのだ。オーブンの中で苛烈な運命に踊る人間たちのなんと面白きこと。
Very Hansel and Gretel-ish, I guess.
わらわは、この方面にかけてはちと知られていてな。わらわの料理の腕を見に、時には遠方から珍客が見物に来ることすらあるくらいよ。言っても家具ごときには理解できぬか。
Canon wasn't able to understand what the witch was saying. However, he realized well enough that this was a terrifying being who treated the fates of humans as a show, and was getting enjoyment out of doing them some kind of harm. However, furniture had no soul or a life, much less a fate. Pitiful furniture did nothing but serve until the day they would be released from the world. The furniture like that, the witch who had come to release them from everything, was also a being overflowing with mercy. Even though the day that Canon had been waiting impatiently for had come, he was unable to readily accept it, and this greatly bewildered him. Why was that? The face of Shannon, the person he loved as a sister, rose to his mind. And for some reason Jessica's face did too. Canon bit his lower lip painfully. Thinking of Jessica was not permitted for furniture. He had been aware of that and had found fault with Shannon's relationship, so how could he remember Jessica at a time like this? He felt a little ashamed by how weak he was. And to forget about Jessica, he turned his thoughts to Shannon. Shannon is also furniture. On the day everything returns to nothing, there was no reason she shouldn't be happy. But Shannon, through her relationship with George, had come to know an emotion that shouldn't be known by furniture. Even though she wasn't qualified to be bound with him, she was still wallowing in a dream that she wasn't permitted to have. Could Shannon accept something like this now with open arms? Impossible. Shannon would have lingering regrets. That would probably become a great source of pain and torture for Shannon. And those regrets had been planted by none other than this witch. Why? Just because that would be more interesting.
シャノンは待ちわびていたはずの日に知ってはならない感情を持ち とても辛い思いを強いられるだろう。僕たち家具を解放する日を手土産に訪れてくれたあなたに感謝する。そしてシャノンにその日を受け入れがたくしたお前を憎む。
お前もシャノン同様に未練に苦しませてやりたかったぞ。しかしお前は愚直に家具であり続け、わらわに籠絡されることもなかった。しかしシャノンを慕いすぎたようだな。シャノンの未練がそなたの未練となる。それはわらわへの憎悪へと変わるのか？わらわを殺したくば殺してみるがよい。金蔵の家具ならばその程度の力は持っていよう。しかしわらわを殺せば家具どもに安息の日は永遠に訪れぬぞ。そなたにそれが耐えられるのか？わらわによる解放を。ひざまずけ。
何を？
ひざまずき、わらわの靴に口づけをするがよい。さもなくばわらわはこの場を立ち去ろうぞ。帰りて永遠に姿を現さぬ。のうカノン、そなたはそれに耐えられるのか？黄金鏡の扉が開かれればそなたの苦難に満ちた家具の生は終わろう。望むならば人間としての生を与えてもよい。さすればもはやジェシカとは対等。貴様も知りたいはずだ、恋の味が。隠そうとも知っておるぞ。
Interesting fetish you have there, but yeah, I'm very weirded out by that request. Ah.
甘き恋の沼にて溺れるシャノンを見てそなたは羨ましがっている。恋の味を知りたくてうずうずしておるのよ。
やめろやめろ。僕を再び籠絡するつもりか。僕はお前を楽しませるためのおもちゃになり果てたりしない。
ほう、ならばシャノンで満足するとしよう。まいた種はそなただけではないのでな。時には実を結ばぬ果実もある。
From the tea party we already know Beto is one kinky girl. Oh god.
鍵を手にせし者は以下に従いて黄金鏡へ旅立つべし。第一の番に鍵の選びし6人を生贄に捧げよ。第二の番に残されし者は寄り添う2人を引き裂け。
The witch recited the epitaph again. It was so sudden and diverged so strongly from the current topic. However, her challenging smile made it seem almost as though she were using that epitaph as a threat to Canon.
わからぬか？この碑文の儀式を成し遂げるには、第二の番に寄り添う2人を生贄に捧げねばならぬ。寄り添う2人は誰でもよい。夫婦でもよいし、恋人同士でもよい。誰を選ぶかは儀式のルールにのっとり、わらわが気まぐれに決めてよいことになっている。今のシャノンならこれほどふさわしい第二の番の生贄もないとは思わぬか？
あいあいあい。
卑劣な。
Canon learned then. He had thought that he had given up everything and lived until today as furniture, like furniture should. But in reality that wasn't true. He had loved Shannon too dearly. And so, when Shannon was in pain, Canon shared in that. If only Shannon had continued to exist as furniture, living indifferently like Canon, without any attachments to this world, they wouldn't have had to be in so much pain. The witch planned to toy with Shannon, who had learned the taste of love. No, who she had taught the taste of love, as she killed her. She would not invite her to the Golden Land as a merciful release, but would make her sacrifice for that evil ritual, after dealing her the limits of torture and pain. And this witch would probably actually make Shannon meet this horrible fate for no other reason than it would be interesting for her. Furthermore, she was threatening to do that so that she could make Canon, who hadn't submitted to the witch even once until now, finally surrender. It was that simple. In the end, though he had tried resisting the witch to avoid pleasing her, he had only made things interesting for her. After all, he was furniture. No, a toy. They were nothing but toys meant only to distract her from her boredom.
どうするカノン。ひざまずけばシャノンを生贄に選ぶことを控えんこともないぞ。お前のような玩具を一度屈服させてみたかった。
Without even a fragment of elegance, the witch sneered at Canon with a vulgar laugh. Yes, even before Canon had made up his mind, she had seen through to his surrender. Oh, God. Canon got down on one knee and chose to genuflect before the witch. He didn't care what happened to himself. However, just the fact that Shannon, who during his days as furniture had given him his only reason to live, was being toyed with, that alone was something that he couldn't overlook. Therefore, something like kissing the shoes of the witch was an easy oath for Canon to make. At the time that his quivering lips actually touched the witch's shoe, Beatrice, after allowing a look of ecstasy to rise to her face, let out an ear-splitting laugh. In that moment, the witch, who had tired of 1,000 years of life, was completely filled with the evil emotion that was her only raison d'être. I don't know what that means, but that was a flash of blood. And that is where we must leave it for today. I was waiting for that scene to end. Yeah. Thank you for being there and for always having the cool conversations. I very much enjoy that. Even though I am confused as to heck as exactly what is supposed to be glimpsed from this variation of the events, but I guess I'll let it play out and we'll see. No, thank you, Bear. Thank you. And thank you to Chidori and Desolane and everyone else who joined today. It's quite a privilege to have you all around here. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I never take it for granted or take it lightly. I like the sound of rain in the scene though. This is very pleasant. If only nothing else came after that. It would just be a pleasant rain. Alright. We will pick it up from here Thursday. See where this is going. I'm not really liking Beatrice too much, to be honest. In the beginning, I thought she was a little bit too whimsical, a little bit like, yeah, okay. But, I like Canon a lot more, and she made him feel bad, so I don't like her right now. I guess we'll see. Is the thing in the Discord already? Umineko with no Goda. Here's your mackerel, yeah. I was expecting that to be it. I was expecting it to be a mackerel joke. Very nice. Very nice. Hi. Team Burn is accepting members. Join the best witch. Yeah. You aren't supposed to like Beatrice, but I like you and you like her, so I feel bad not liking her. At least right now. So, you know, by extension, I'm having a little bit of pang in my heart. I will like her eventually, you say. Okay. Let's see. She has to convince me because so far I ain't impressed. So far, I'm with Battler. I mean, I bet some people really like Beatrice with her whole dominatrix things going on. I mean, yeah, I guess some people like that. I do kind of understand it in the sense of if she's really a witch and if she really has been alive for 1,000 years and if she really has been kind of like stuck and, you know, not being able to interact with the world and, you know, being bored, I can see why she would toy with people. I can see where she's coming from. That doesn't mean I necessarily agree with her methods. And at the same time, I also understand that she has no reason to care about these people. So what exactly am I demanding of her? I don't know. I just know that right now she doesn't give me good vibes. Or any sort of vibe from which I could like her. So, yeah. Okay. Fun times, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will end it now because I'm getting a little bit tired and my mind is a little bit all over the place. But I appreciate you coming around and apologies for being unseen tonight. It will not be the case for next time, I promise. It was just not a day where I felt like I could put myself out there for the world. That was all. So yeah, but overall I had fun. I hope this was a fun time for you as well, and I will see you again Thursday if you can come around so we can do it all over again. It's your fault. Not enough love Nezu couldn't be seen. Oh no. No, I love Bea's take more. We can see you anyway with love. Yes, yes, yes. You will be able to see me properly next time too. Promise, promise, promise. For now, night night, take care, and yeah, let's have fun again next time or whenever you manage to come around the stream. It's not a requirement. It's an open invitation. You take it if you want. I will be here. Night night. And yep, see you next time. Actually, you will be able to see me. I will just read you. But you know what I mean. Bye.